guys, welcome back. If you don't know me, my name is Christina and I put out videos every Saturday. So if you want to get notified for when I post, hit subscribe. Question of the day, what is your favorite home remedy when you're sick? Whether it's tea or watching a movie you like, any type thing you like to do when you're sick that makes you feel better. Personally, I like to sleep because, rest is definitely an important thing. But besides sleeping, I guess drinking tea. I love drinking tea. I have in my tea, I put lemon, honey, and cinnamon, and it's so good and it makes my throat feel all better and so warm, and it just really helps and it tastes good, so I always do that. Okay, I don't know if you could tell, but I'm sick, and I've been sick for basically a week now. I had a choir concert on Wednesday, and I couldn't even really hear myself singing because I was so sick, and I still am, so yay! Anyway, I thought it'd be cool to make a video on how to take care of your voice when you're sick, or just, the do's and don'ts of singing, even when you're not sick, what to do and what not to do, so that you can keep your voice healthy 24/7. Personally, whenever I'm sick, my voice is the first thing to go, which is really annoying because I really need it every single day. I have a weak immune system, and because of that, I have to learn how to alter my daily schedule to make sure my voice stays healthy and I get better and everything. So I'm used to being sick and getting out of it. So hopefully these tips are helpful to those who are sick or who just need to know, how to sing properly. Some of these are kind of self-explanatory, but I'm just gonna say them anyway. So let's just get on with the video. So these tips are really for anybody, but some of these are specific to singers, so just pointing that out. This tip is for my singers. Support your breath when you're singing. That's self-explanatory, like I said, but it's really important when you're singing. Personally, I can't stand breathy singing, and I've been an example of that when I was freshman year, and it just comes with practice and with training and stuff like that. So I'm not saying like if you're breathy you're a terrible singer, because no, obviously people have to learn and stuff like that. But yeah, supporting your breath comes down from really low, if that makes sense, in like your hip area, like abdomen, low stomach kind of area. That's where you need to take your breaths, and that's where you really support it and just hold on to those muscles so that you can be able to sustain your singing forever. Don't breathe with your shoulders. I see this a lot in Broadway singers and pop singers. I think that with a proper and professional training that they do have, that they wouldn't make that mistake. But also you have to take into consideration that it's hard to sing some of those songs. I've listened to Broadway songs and to pop songs and all different types of genres, and some of those songs are really hard to sing. So I get why that quick breathing would be the first thing you go to, but just remember to not breathe with your shoulders. For those of you who are singers right now, who do sing, that breath comes from down below, which is what I just said beforehand. When you breathe with your shoulders, you're breathing with your lungs, and it's very shallow. You won't be able to support what you're trying to sing if you're just breathing up here. It needs to come down from really low. And honestly, I've tried it and it hurts. Breathing with your shoulders, especially breathing quick, because it's hard to breathe quick and from down below, but that's just something you gotta practice. But breathing right here and in your throat and breathing fast, it hurts, and it's gonna damage your vocal cords eventually. So just start practicing now to start breathing really low and not breathe with your shoulders, because that will not support your breath. Do drink tea/water, aka stay hydrated. This is for everybody. It's so important to stay hydrated no matter if you're sick or not, but especially if you are sick, definitely drink tea and water. I feel like those are the two main things you should resort to, because sodas are definitely not going to help you. A lot of people drink coffee and stuff like that, but I just feel like that doesn't hydrate you, that drains you, because it has caffeine in it and it doesn't give you the proper nourishments you need to help you get better. So I say just stick to tea and water and maybe some juices. Those help too, because when you're sick, you're losing a lot of liquids, especially when you're blowing your nose and all this other gross stuff that comes with being sick. you're losing a lot of liquids, so you need to drink water and, you know, teas and stuff like that to help you restore those liquids that you need in your body. I know for me, I always keep my trusty handy dandy water bottle with me everywhere I go. It's like a necessity. His name is Phil, in case you were wondering. It's short for Philip. Anyway, besides the point, it's just really, really important to stay hydrated. Another tip for my sick people, don't suck on cough drops when you don't need it. I am definitely guilty of this. I, in the past, have honestly eaten cough drops like they're candy, which is not a good thing because you are taking in too much of, you know, not necessarily the chemicals, but cough drops are just good to soothe your throat and to, you know, obviously soothe coughing. But having too much of it can actually be bad for you. So limit your use of cough drops. Just, even if your throat hurts, drink tea or drink water like I said before. And don't guzzle medicine like it's water, because it's not. Also, be careful when you clear your throat. I know some people who aggressively, you know, clear their throat, and it makes me cringe. I just feel like that's damaging your vocal cords, and I know it can be really annoying when you have like icky stuff in your throat. Believe me, I know. But you still have to be gentle, because when you think about your vocal cords, they're two little thin muscles. So just think of it as thin, fragile muscles, and when you clear your throat, you're banging them against each other, and that's ruining it even more. So just be gentle. They're little baby muscles. Just take good care of them. Do sing gently if your voice is tired. I know there are times when you're singing a lot, you know, all day long sometimes, whether it be for a musical or just for fun, and your voice eventually gets tired, you know, it gets dry and it gets like kind of crackly and stuff like that. That just means your voice is tired and needs to rest. If you still have to sing, like I said, if it's for a musical and your voice is tired and you have to sing, just sing gently. There's no reason that you have to sing loud or belt or anything like that. You can take it softly. No one's forcing you to sing loud. So when you feel the need to sing quieter, sing softer, do it. Don't skrelt. This term is not really used in a lot of things, but basically it means scream/belt. So when you put the two together, it makes skrelt. So for those of you who don't know what belting is, it's basically just using your chest voice and raising it either into your mix or your head voice into those higher registers, making a louder sound eventually. Obviously, everyone knows what screaming is. When you mix the two together, it's a style of singing that very few people know how to do and very few people actually do it. So don't do it if you don't know how to do it. It's so damaging for your voice, and screaming is damaging in general. So don't scream and don't skrelt. And for those of you who do belt in certain songs, it's not healthy to belt all the time. That's why you see singers who do belt all the time, they eventually have vocal damage because they've done it for so long and it's damaging on their voice. Even though they belted correctly and, you know, did all the proper things they needed to do, it's still harsh on your voice. So just don't belt all the time. Never scream or yell, really, because that's ruining your vocal cords so much. I can't stand it when people just scream for no reason. I personally try not to scream as much. The only time I ever yell, I guess, I never scream really anymore, but the only time I really yell is at assemblies because those get really competitive. But yeah, I really try not to scream/yell anymore because I know how damaging it can be, and I know my voice is very important to the things I need to do. But yeah, just don't skrelt if you don't know how to do it. Don't belt if you don't know how to do it. Don't ever scream. So do rest when needed. I'm talking about vocal rest, my friends. Singer's best friend. Personally, I hate vocal rest. I always talk, and it's very hard for me to be on vocal rest because I always talk. But I know how important it is for my voice, and I know when I should be on vocal rest, so I'm very efficient about that. And to those of you who hate vocal rest, like me, you're gonna have to do it at some point. Your body will tell you how it feels and tell you when you need to slow down or stop. And if you don't respond to that, the outcomes are gonna be very negative. I know in the past, I've wanted to push myself to sing higher, sing louder, whatever it was, and I just kept pushing myself. And even though my body was like, stop, I'm getting tired, I need a break, I kept pushing, you know, just like, I don't know what I thought, like I would master belting in 5 minutes or something if I just kept going. I don't know what I thought. But I've learned over the past couple years that it's so important to let your body rest and your voice rest when it needs to, because your recovery from that will just be that much greater, and it'll be faster as well. Because if you scream once and then let your voice rest, you'll pretty much be fine. But if you keep screaming for a long period of time and you don't give your body enough rest, it's unbalancing and your body will just say, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. Don't sing in the car. Now, I don't mean to never sing along to your favorite song on the radio, because everybody does that. But if you're practicing a song for a solo or for an audition or whatever, don't sing in the car. It's a really bad place to sing because the acoustics are very muffled and it's very closed in, and so when you're singing loud and you think you're not loud enough, you tend to want to sing louder, and that's just gonna ruin your voice, you know. So singing in the car is just a very bad idea if you're trying to actually practice a song, because what you sound like in the car is not what you're gonna sound like in the audition room. Do keep your neck area warm. So this is especially for those of you who live in colder places, or just when in the winter when it gets colder. Wear scarves and beanies to keep your ears warm, but especially scarves. Scarves are so important when it comes to singers, and especially when you're sick too. In the winter it's very dry, and that can cause your throat to get dry and just all terrible and not ready to sing and not warmed up, and that just almost not freezes your vocal cords, but it makes them very immovable. So you need to keep your neck area warm and moist, if that makes sense. It's a weird word and not really the word I wanted to use, but cold and dry is like your worst enemy when it comes to your vocal cords. And I know where I live, it gets very cold and dry in the winter, so I use plenty of scarves and jackets and beanies and mittens and to keep everything warm in the mornings, especially. It's so cold in the mornings. What I tend to do is when I wear scarves, I cover my nose and my mouth, because those are like my airways, obviously. And so I just keep those closed so I can be able to breathe and have that warmth within that area. And it just keeps your body warm, because if you keep your neck, your hands, and your feet warm, your whole body will pretty much be warm. It's like science. Don't push/sing through your throat. So this is basically for singers. When you're singing, I see this a lot, especially in younger singers, because they don't necessarily know how to sing properly yet. Basically, you can kind of tell when you're pushing through your throat, because you'll feel tension all up in your neck and everything. And I see a lot of people, when they try to sing higher notes, they'll try to reach for it with their neck, so they're reaching with their neck, and that's bad. You don't want to reach with your neck to reach those notes, because it's not going to help you hit the notes anymore. It's just going to make it strained and pulled and just very bad in general. So instead of reaching for the note with your neck, reach with it with your breath. You want to engage your breath even more, which goes back to the first do, which is supporting your breath. You just want to, think of it, the higher notes you go, the lower you want everything to feel, the lower you want the breath, the lower you want the sustaining, because that'll give you the power to sing higher. I said this before, but I feel like the most important thing with any singer, or if you're sick, or just in general, just rest. Rest when needed, because you can't expect to run a 5K and not be affected by it. But anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to like and comment, and don't forget to follow me in all my social media. And of course, always remember to stay strong. Bye!